Run steep, get high. Run flat, stay low. Run the mountain, run the road. Run past the 8 stand to the commode. Oh, run steep, get high. Run flat, stay low. One stream, 2 guys. Mountain Outpost. Now here's your host.
Woo!
Whoop, whoop.
How's it going, buddy?
Hey man, I am hanging in just by a thread. I'm like that hang in there cat. That's me. That's what it feels like right now. Yeah. How you doing?
I feel pretty out of control myself. So just trying to hang in there myself. I feel like we got a little bit of catching up to do. We got a shorter show than normal, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We got about 35 minutes maybe is all this week. So if you guys are in the chat, drop in your Q&As and we'll get into it.
Sweet. Cool.
Yeah.
What's happening in your life? I mean, why?
I don't really know. I just feel like I'm always at the office and I'm not. I did get a little run in yesterday, but I don't know. We're trying. I think there's just a lot going on, like Cocodona prep. We're really into that right now. Trying to plan out all of our media. We're pulling out some archival footage from 2019 when Anthony and I pre-ran the course over 5 days. So we're doing some edits on that, pulling that footage together, and hopefully we release 5 episodes of that. We're going to call it Cocodona Origins. And we got to pull off this race in 4.5 weeks, and I'm towing the line, and we're trying to do a live stream again, and you're going to be out here.
I am, to some degree. We'll see how well my body holds up. By the time I get there to try to pace you, maybe I'll just wave at you at a couple crew stops and then just like make it a larger brewery tour of Northern Arizona for me personally. But yeah, man, I'm excited. It's I mean, I think when a lot of people who've never been to Arizona think about Arizona, they just think desert. And really most of this course is super pristine, a lot of different foliage and diversity therein. And I think that some of these views that are going to show up in the Origins and then obviously in the live stream for the races are going to catch some people by surprise. So I'm excited for you, man, for you personally running it, and then also for what it's going to be as a overall spectacle.
Yeah, I mean, the first episode of Origins, as you guys will see, we woke up to snow day 2 on the mountains behind us where we came. So if runners were traveling through the mountains across the night, they would be in snow. It's good times.
What's the worst that could happen? Like,
exactly.
You'll be all right.
I do have to shout out, we probably have some new viewers this week because our Courtney DeWalter running Barkley episode of the Outhouse News Show is, I think, by tomorrow going to be our all-time most viewed news show, which is amazing. So got a lot of new subscribers. So if you're just tuning in, I'm Jam. I guess we didn't even introduce ourselves. Jamil Coury. And I'm here with Schuyler Hall, Skizzle Fresh, and we're just a couple friends talking about running, about what's going down, what's going on in our lives. It's a longer form style of content on this show, so you can also catch this in podcast format on all the podcasting platforms.
Yeah, but while you're here on YouTube, if you are, there's that subscribe button and the like button, and then share it with some folks. So just do all the things.
So let's jump into. Yeah, let's jump in with you. You have one more day of the birthday month of action. I have not caught your stats. Where are we at? And what is it?
Good question. No, I literally, I have not showered since my run. I literally parked, drove up here, plugged the microphone in, and here we are. That's how down to the wire this thing is going. So as of, I guess, my run that ended 29 minutes ago, I have 198.3 miles of running down. So I have 6.6 miles to go. I have 30,859 feet of gain done. So I have 2,141 feet to go because it was 330K running. 33,000 feet of vert was the goal for the month. And then on the bike, and this is where things are a mess. I have knocked out 147 miles, so I have just under 58 to go. So tonight and tomorrow are going to be hellacious. I will say, though, the thing that I was kind of concerned, and I should have done this way earlier in the month, and I just like completely dropped the ball on this, was the sub 33 second 200. I did knock that out at practice today. Swore I was going to blow out my hamstring when I came off the turn. I will just say that I beat 33. I won't give the official time. I'll wait for the vlog to come out, but I did eclipse 33 seconds. And then I made my kids run a hellacious Forever 200s workout so that they could feel my pain in a different way. So yeah, man, this is by far the craziest month of training I've ever had. Last week for Race by Rams was the most vert I'd ever done in a calendar week. And then I was like, well, I still have to keep going through the 31st. So it's a grind. I think all told, I'm going to have like over 40 hours of training this month. And it's just, I'm broken.
That is legit. I had a bit of a false start last week. Oh shoot, did we talk? When did I go run with Rob Krar?
That was Thursday. No, that was after the pod.
Shoot. Okay, so we could get into that a little bit. So we'll have that, and then I had to basically take the weekend off from running, and I got out there yesterday. I also had these great intentions of coming back from Barkley and not using caffeine. Yeah, that's out the window already.
I feel that. I was this close to actually just like getting an actual pot of coffee on and having it during this. I've instead opted for the Dr. Pepper cream soda, which is top notch. I will gladly refer anyone to this. So that's where I'm at right now. What are you?
And it's a cup of noodle soup. That's what I'm doing. So I haven't eaten enough today, apparently. So
I feel that.
This is one of those days and episodes. So do you want to, where should we go with the show in our limited time? Do you want to jump in, get into some news first, or do you want me to roll into some, maybe a little Rob Krar chat?
Let me knock out Run Flat News, and then worst case scenario, I ghost from the podcast, and you can take viewer questions on Rob Krar and the world that is. So Run Flat News, we're sort of in a weird like middle ground. Obviously, college cross country and indoor track just wrapped up, so we're officially in the outdoor season, but we're the furthest away from championships that we're going to be. So meets are just starting to get up. And then obviously a lot of folks, both in the college ranks and in the pros, are focused on the Olympic trials and preparing for that. So a little bit slower week, but we did have some pretty entertaining results, most of which were sort of in the South or on the East Coast. So we had the Texas relays this past week. Some notable things that popped off. Ben Azamadi, he is a freshman from West Texas A&M. It's a Division II school, runs a wind legal 997 in the 100. So world lead from a D2 athlete in late March when most people are not running that fast at all. So shout out to him. We had Katie Ann McDonald with the like lean just past Steph Moss. Both of them finished in 206.84 in the 800 on the women's side. We had on the men's side in the 800, Adam Swanson, a freshman from Eastern Illinois. So we got to shout out a certain virtual Aravaipa director who may or may not be an alum of Eastern Illinois. But he ran 147.66. So he didn't fade whatsoever in the second lap. Normally in the 800, you run your first lap and then you kind of fade by 2 seconds in the second lap. Didn't whatsoever. So again, just a freshman coming out like a boss. And then a D2 athlete again was second place behind him. Adam actually came back and ran a 346 1500 in the B heat, demolishing everyone in his heat. He would have taken second in the A heat against like athletes from the Power 5 conference schools. So he's one to watch, little sneaky pick there. And then in the 10K, sophomore from Oklahoma State, Isai Rodriguez dropped a 28:08, just like fresh off the cross country season, using that fitness, getting one good 10K in, so he can hopefully just like relax until the regionals kick off in late May. So there's a bunch of stuff that happened at the Texas relays. It was a good time. We have in Raleigh, the Raleigh relays, another sort of like big collegiate event. They ran a bit faster. I think it's just more favorable weather in Raleigh than it was in Austin. But you had Mercy Chalangat, fresh off of her NCAA cross-country victory, comes back, runs a 32:31 in the 10K, wins by over a minute, just like lapping everybody, because nothing says I'm here and I'm dominant like lapping the entire field. Finley McClear, the sophomore from Miami, Ohio, on the men's side in the 800 ran 147.43. Again, another theme, a Division II athlete was in second. So like, don't sleep on these D2 guys and gals. They're showing up here against these D1 studs and are going to be interesting folks to watch, sleeper picks when it comes to Olympic trials. Yared Nagus, who ran for Notre Dame at cross championships, ran a 13:40 in the 5K. So he's got an early standard, which will probably hold up to be able to get him into the NCAA regionals. And then the two lead guys from Nova, Sean Dolan and Casey Comer, both run 3:39 in the 1500 to take the early collegiate lead. So just a lot of folks who are using their fitness carryover from that extended cross country late indoor season, trying to get early marks and then hopefully just like coast for the next couple of months until the NCAA regionals one weekend. The next weekend is nationals, or maybe it's 2 weekends after that, it's nationals. And then the weekend after NCAA nationals is the Olympic trials. So if you're a college athlete right now, or you're in the collegiate system, it's going to be a hellacious championship season for you. So I think a lot of folks are just trying to get their marks in now, get their time qualifiers, and try to save themselves as much as possible for that sprint from late May into June. So that's sort of what happened in the bigger races on the college scene. Cameron Jones also ran at the FSU relays. A senior from Clemson ran 147.49. So the 800 is going to be insane. So if you like people sprinting over long distances, because the 800 is really a glorified death sprint, then you're going to be very excited for that. Other things that happened in the world, just real quick, Hobbs Kessler, who we talked about many times on the pod, he ran an 8:39 2-mile over the weekend. So now becomes the whole, is he going to actually matriculate to NAU in the fall, or is he going to go pro? It could go either way at this point, but if he goes to NAU, then like that's just rude. Jalen Slade, another high schooler out of IMG Academy down in Florida, ran a 20.27 200 meter. He beat Trayvon Bromell, who is like a Team USA athlete, like pretty much almost a lock to be on the Olympic team. Well, I guess not anymore because he got beat by a high schooler. So that's something to watch. Marquise Goodwin, a guy after my own heart, former NFL star, played for my Niners for a bit. His first track meet in 5 years, now that he's retired from the NFL. Long jumps, 26 feet, 7 3/4, number 4 in the world right now. So he's got a shot at making an Olympic team again. And then Chris Thompson across the pond. I think a lot of people saw this story, had a kid on Monday, and then comes back and wins the British Marathon Trials in 2:10:52, securing his spot with the team for the Olympics. Second place, Ben Connor, had already achieved the time standard. So because he finished in second place, he will also be towing the line in Tokyo for Great Britain. On the women's side, Stephanie Davis took the win in 2:27:16. No other women in the field met the time standard. So it looks like she might be the lone person going for Great Britain, unless somebody sort of like, Olympic committees get kind of weird. So if somebody else hits the standard somehow, then they'll be in. But it is what it is. But Chris Thompson's nuts because this is his 25th national team. He's 39 years old. He's been in the game. He first was on Team GB as a junior athlete in like the steeplechase. So the dude has range, and it's just a feel good story. He's just in a glass case of emotion. So get excited for that. But this week is going to be where the fun really begins. Hayward Field out at the University of Oregon and the site of this summer's USA Trials. It's unveiling. It's hosting its first meet this week. Very exclusive D1 meet. They basically said, hey, are you top 16 in the nation in your event? Come run with us. So you're going to see a lot of big names, and it's going to be bananas. I think it's going to be streaming on FlowTrack. The Stanford Invitational is happening. Azusa Pacific is hosting a meet. And then, all hell is breaking loose in the month of April. It's just going to be a fun time. And then we have May when the Kansas City qualifier that Trials of Miles is putting on. So pros will start getting into the mix a bit more because, again, they're sort of in this down cycle. And then they got to start hitting standards, get to the trials. And it's crazy. But so that's Run Flat News in a nutshell.
Ooh,
Time
deep
for me
breath.
to sip my drink. Yes. Cool.
Deep breath on that one.
Woot.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That Trials of Miles meet, that'll be another live cast, I'm sure, which will be exciting to see.
Yep. Right there on the Citius Mag, the Citius Mag YouTube. And
What is...
they're bringing the drone back. That's what I was told. So.
Maybe two. Actually, don't fly two drones near one another. We learned this the hard way. Not a good idea. What is the date of that?
The Kansas City qualifier, I believe it's May 1st.
All right.
Yeah.
So watch
and that one's going to be fun because it has obviously it has several distance events, but it has a steeplechase. And we haven't seen a lot of pro steeplechase at all, honestly. So if you're somebody who likes to see actual steeplechasing and not just watch the steeplechase fails on YouTube, then that's going to be your chance to really dig in on it. And the steeplechase is just so fun because you can blow up so easily in a steeple. Like if you go out too aggressively, there's no room to rest. It's like, all right, cool. I got another barrier in 80 meters. So
yeah, and those things aren't getting knocked down. So
no,
they'll knock you down.
Yeah, might have some experience with that, but it's cool.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so that's where I'm at.
Sweet.
But you actually got to witness a little bit of fun news and history. So what the hell was Rob teasing on IG, and what can you share about that?
Yeah, I think I got to be a little careful because I know I'm under express direction not to say too much, but let's just start with this real quick. All right, we got Rob's Instagram here. And so he was teasing it a little bit. First, he has this photo, and he's clearly up in that Canyonlands, Northern Grand Canyon area here. And then he put this photo out. This was, I think, the day before, maybe the day I went up to join him. He says, this kit looks a little different. He's got, I can tell you that bottom right is a pack raft, and there's poles that are behind his vest. And a little tracker there. I'm trying to think. Oh, and he's got these ski mountaineering straps. So that is a clue. And then here he says, I've been working on an FKT project in the Vermilion Cliffs area of northern Arizona and sent the route last Thursday. Truly some of those most spectacular landscape I've ever found myself in. Yes, that's a paddle strapped on my back. He says this photo is from me. Technically that's true, although it was video. And as you can see him, they chose this freeze frame of him both feet off the air, about to drop down into this canyon. And so here I am Thursday after Barkley, and I've just hiked 2 miles cross country up this ravine with like a track that Rob has given me. And that's after a 20-minute off-road truck drive through this like sandy washes that the guy I was with had to keep gunning it because we were afraid he was going to get stuck. We were supposed to take an OHV and the battery was dead that morning. So it was like this series of cascading mishaps that escalated, and that's a little bit of the story behind this photo. And as soon as I joined Rob, and I ran with him for, I believe, 4.5 miles, I mean, he was full on racing this thing. Whatever was in his mind, I mean, he was running as hard as he can, and I'm here with a gimbal with a big camera trying to chase him down, leaping cross country over all these ravines and washes, and it was so fun. I mean, I love doing this stuff, but it was absolutely the hardest filming I've ever done. I think I posted that somewhere. I mean, I was so out of breath, and my body's still so messed up, so it's good times.
I like that literally on Tuesday during the show, you were like, my Achilles is a little wonky. And then now you're going to run weighted, jumping rock to rock. I'm sure your body is super thrilled about all that.
We had a 7:09 mile somewhere in there. Yeah.
Wow.
And it was cross country. So, and then to get down to the area where he was going to begin his pack rafting experience. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's basically a fold up raft that you really, really thin fabric. It's very strong, but you blow this thing up and he hops in it. And we had to descend down, like we were way above the river, had to descend all the way down. And there's like this cable route. So there's like ropes and cables. And he basically, at one point, Rob was basically rappelling, and I'm supposed to follow with the camera. So not sure. You'll have to just stay tuned to see how it all worked out. But it's pretty fun. Pretty fun times.
I'm looking forward to seeing you base jumping, I guess is what I'm hearing here. So cool. Jamil in the squirrel suit. That's what we're looking for.
It might as well have been, So it was good times. Yeah.
That's absurd.
That's the basics, man. Just trying to take some downtime running, but I'm testing the Achilles a little bit. I got out for a couple miles yesterday, and we'll see how it goes.
What is the status of your involvement with the Cocodona virtual? When does that kick off? Because Raised by Rams finished on Sunday.
Yeah.
And the next virtual race is the 5-week Cocodona experience, or is it Aravaipa Strong?
Yeah, we actually snuck Aravaipa Strong in. I think it's 1 week prior to where it was last year. So yeah, registration's open for Aravaipa Strong. We're supporting the National Forest Foundation this year. And yeah, if you want to join, you can check it all out on our website, just aravaiparunning.com. You can run anywhere from a 5K up to 100 miles over a 10-day period. Take part. There's going to be a lot of interactive community building, just like last year, hopefully even to another level. So if you guys want to take part and connect with the Aravaipa community and to support a good cause, check it out. And after that is the Cocodona virtual experience. And it's going to be similar to some of the cross-country runs that we saw last year gain popularity, like the virtual run across Tennessee. Javelina hallucinations, a little bit like that. So it's a 5-week, 250 miles, and it's going to start the same day, the same exact time as the real in-person race. So, I mean, of course, we're going to see some people enter the virtual and probably do their own 250-mile race and try and race the in-person competitors. I would not be surprised if that happens. And nothing would shock me at this point with virtual races. But really, the intention is do 50 miles a week. It's a great way to build maybe up some summer base mileage. Mm-hmm. And you get to also learn more and explore the Cocodona route. Hopefully add it to your bucket list. That'd be great. It's gonna be a good time.
So you can't use that for your base for Cocodona. So what's your well, I mean, it would be sort of a very you thing to do to start training for a race after the race happened. But but that being said, what's your game plan here? Because you have, 31 days until Cocodona kicks off, or 32 or something like that. How are you rebounding from Barkley? Do you have like a plan in motion, or is it really just like very go with the flow for you right now?
I probably need to get a plan developed. I guess I'm really only going to have maybe a couple weeks of training, really. I think the most important thing would just be getting back to some consistency. Mm-hmm. That'd be the biggest goal. So I probably need to go home immediately after this show and get in 30 minutes of running. It'd be great. I don't really have much of a plan. I want to make sure, number one, I'm healed up from Barkley and any issues lingering are handled. Because I could probably get to the finish line of Cocodona if I'm at least healthy going into it. If I show up injured, it's just going to be it's going to get ugly, man, and it's going to be real bad. So there's a lot on the back end for us, so I know it's going to be a struggle to get that balance right of sleep and some consistent training before this race kicks off. We've got a huge media push, and we just got the logistics of the event, especially since I'm not able to help with the direction and production of the race, and also not with the live stream of the race since I'm in the media side. I'm literally running. That's all got to be handled. And fortunately, we have an amazing team. Yeah. So, but I will shout it out, and we did this for Black Canyon buildup. We've got a head start. We do need help for the live stream. We're going to shoot to cover the first 3 days of the race as much as possible. And we want to capture, the top men and top women that come across that finish line and give you guys an inside look. So we need volunteers again. And we also are looking for some paid staff that if you are a drone pilot that has a Section 107, please contact us. If you have experience with OBS and you want to help in our studio behind the scenes, please contact me. Potentially, if you're interested in commentating, we need help. An ideal candidate for the commentating would be someone that can come to Phoenix for a few days, can be in our office, and kind of knows and is a fan of the sport. I think and has a baseline understanding of the trail and ultra world, maybe 200s. So yeah, if any of that sounds like something you'd want to be a part of, please reach out to me. If you'd like to just go to an aid station and hold a phone and film what you see, we also need that. We need that feed coming in. And let's see, I think I'm covering most of the bases there. We're also going to be needing people running and riding mountain bikes potentially on the route. As the field spreads out, our plan is to have less static shots at aid stations and more on-course footage, because we might not see a runner at an aid station for an hour. And so we want to keep some action going. So that's about all I'm going to say about that on this show, but we'll probably be talking about it the next couple weeks as we build up towards it. So you can DM me on Instagram or email me and get connected in with the team.
Sweet.
That's my pitch.
Or slide into the Discord and just at you there.
Can also message me on our Discord. Please join up on the Discord and check it out. So Q&A. If you have questions, please drop them into the chat. What else do you got to cover, Schuyler, before we jump into those? And how are we doing on time?
We're good. I got 9 minutes. So I have a few that came in on IG that I'll loft as folks are populating the live chat here on YouTube. In your opinion, Jamil, is it okay in a sort of post-pandemic situation to trick your non-running partner into a running-related vacation? So you're just like, all right, yeah, we're going to like just have a nice little romantic getaway. And then you just like, oh, and I'm also going to happen to run this race there. Is it okay to trick your partner?
Probably in general, not okay to trick, but just going to say I'm also not in a relationship, so take that for what it's worth.
I didn't realize we were turning the pod into Win a Date with Tad Hamilton. So like, that's cool.
Just scratch that part out. What would you say? The tricking, I don't know about the tricking. Maybe be upfront about it.
Yeah, ultras are kind of long. So it's not like, hey, I'm going to slide out for like a 2 hour, like, I'm just going to go run on my own and like jump in a community 5K. So I think you got to kind of be upfront with it. Clearly, like I had to go into an advanced negotiation to be able to commentate Black Canyon. I think that's probably better for the long-term health of your relationship. So yeah, I would.
Now, if it's attending a race here in Arizona with us, I might feel differently about it.
Right. If it's like, hey, I'm doing Cocodona and my partner's going to be by themselves for 4 days, we can also give them recommendations. Like,
it's Arizona wine country is in the heart of this course. So just saying.
Pizzicato every day until you show up in Flagstaff. And then one more time. Yeah. There's some breweries too, if that's your thing.
Lots of breweries, lots of saloons and bars literally on course. So
literally on course.
Take your pick.
There's going to be some line dancing in the middle of the race, I imagine. And then the only other one we got was from our buddy Jim, Mr. Jim Rooney, who might be in the chat. I don't know.
He's in the chat for sure. Yep.
He sent this to me, and I'm going to ask it, realizing it's going to put way more pressure on him. So this is his fault for doing it. So long story short, like the backyard he was going to do got canceled. Now he's in a different backyard this weekend. The current Australian record is 48 loops. By how many loops is Mr. Jim Rooney going to break the Australian record?
6 loops.
Okay. Cool. All right.
So he found another one to enter?
It's a tricked out story. It's so wild. Yeah, go.
I saw that it was canceled right when the flooding cleared out for him, and then it's like heartbreak all over again. Jeez.
Yeah, he's had a pretty wild past 96 hours for sure, but he's back on the grind. So so I'm sure we'll touch upon it, or he'll share a little bit in the chat. We'll probably not, because he'll still be running at this time next week if things are going correctly. But we'll. No pressure, Jim. Maybe
there'll be a live feed we can pull in or something. Who knows?
All right. Cool. So let us know. Let us know, buddy. And we'll do what we got to do. All right. What's happening in the chat?
Not a lot, honestly. I don't know what's going on. Maybe people are thrown off by our weird times or something. But
that sounds about right.
Maybe I need to refresh the feed here. Maybe it's paused. Let's see here. Nope. Okay. Going from the top, Jem is in the chat. I say, smash that thumbs up button. If we get to 100 likes, Schuyler does Tabasco shots.
Whew. Yeah, let's do that after the 31st. Let me get through birthday month of action and then ruin my digestive tract. Yeah. Tabasco's not even that bad, though. Tabasco's overrated, just as a condiment. I'm just going to throw that out there. There's so many better ones.
Yeah. Even Cholula is better. I mean.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, Tabasco is literally the floor. Cholula's a bit above that. But there are so many random, you're just side of the road barbecue spots. And they're just burn your insert body part here sort of hot sauce. Yeah, there's a lot of better stuff. This is why I'm so excited for the running event, because I'm just going to ruin every barbecue spot, and you're going to sit there and watch me angrily because they don't have vegan options. But we're going to get some sauces. It'll be great.
I'll be at Arlo's, so come find me there.
Okay. That's right.
Jem Rooney says the new Hayward Field looks so incredible.
Yeah.
Jeff Elliott says I've got a Vapor Krar vest, but I'm pretty sure I couldn't pick Rob out of a lineup.
Well,
all right.
Right. I mean,
beard, and he's got a pretty dope haircut right now. I will be honest.
Okay, I mean, you described half of people at Ultras, but
questions are rolling in. We got BTSF. Random question: What happened to Montrail? They seem to be the big deal in ultra trail racing. I'm new to the sport, but always watch old YouTube videos. Yeah, so the Montrail team was partnered with Patagonia, and then Montrail kind of died off as a brand, and then it was bought out by Columbia. So now it's Montrail Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
And they do sponsor some athletes again. They sponsor UTMB. They don't have much of a foothold in the U.S., although this reminds me, shout out to Joe McConaughey, String Bean. He's crushing it on the Arizona Trail right now. He's a Montrail athlete. So if you want to see Montrail in action, he is blowing the record apart right now. I think he's doing something like 60 plus miles a day on the trail, 60 to 70. He's already heading towards Flagstaff, and he just started a week ago. It's absolutely nuts.
Okay,
He was in Pine last night.
That's absurd.
And he had Washington Park this afternoon.
That's absurd. Okay. Yeah,
so I think he'll probably move through Flagstaff tomorrow. Yeah. And there's great daily updates. If you go to Pilot Field, their YouTube channel, I will use my cool little new thing here. Let me transition this. There we go. So Pilot Field, go there. Make sure you subscribe up, and you can see this is the guy. So there's Joe. He's got like some behind the scenes from his crew. There he is crossing the Roosevelt. Above Roosevelt. So definitely recommend checking these. Episodes are short and sweet. They're like 5 to 7 minutes long, but you get a really inside look at a guy tearing up an FKT right now. So definitely go check that out.
Which is not a soft FKT by any
stretch.
I mean, it wasn't like out of reach, but it also wasn't like I wasn't going to show up and have a shot at taking it.
It's just it's been lowered in pieces. I mean, Versteeg did it a couple years ago, and then it's like right above 2 weeks right now. But we all know that 2 weeks was going to be broken. And then the question is, by how much will it be broken? Is the limit going to be 12 days, 11 days? It's probably going to be somewhere in the range of 11 to 12 days, which is what Joe's shooting for. And there's no one better. I mean, he's got the long trail. He had the PCT and the AT at one point. I think he still has one of them unsupported or maybe supported. So it's good stuff. What else do we got going here? Matt Albertson, no question, just saying hello as I'm new to the Mountain Outhouse and still catching up on all the past content. Awesome.
There's so much there.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck.
Oh, they're all PSAs. Don't try any of those things at home.
Oh, did I miss the discussion of Anton's return to Leadville? I have this.
Oh, man.
Here we go. Shout out to friend of the pod, Treeline Journal.
Yeah.
And there he is. And he had this will be in this week's Outhouse News. Like, this, of course, is going to be the thumbnail title of the show. But, the question is Anton going to run Leadville 100? Will it happen? It's yet to be seen. What do you think? What are the odds? What do you give it?
68% that he does it.
I'm going to go with 30% chance. I don't have much faith. I'm sorry. I've had too many false alarms on the news show over the years. But it would be, now taking a step back from that statement, I would love to see the return, the real true return of Anton. I think we all would. I think such an inspiration for so many people getting into the sport. And I think, it's frustrating watching a guy like struggle with injuries and setbacks over the years. I mean, I want nothing more than to see him crush the level 100. It would get me amped up. And so I wish him all the best, and I hope he does it. We'll just have to see.
I think, this is one of those situations where a lot of people got stronger through 2020 just because there weren't races on the calendar. They could only do so many things, go so many places. I'm hopeful that he is one of those people who came out of 2020 physically stronger and able to take on this challenge without, this sort of like perpetual cycle that he'd been in. So, yeah, same in terms of hoping that this is the first successful race that he has back of many to come.
I mean, what is his last result from Ultra Signups? Probably a long time ago. I know you got to get going, so I don't want to dive into too many more questions if you gotta run.
I'll give you 2 minutes. Go.
2 minutes.
Power hour. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Jem says the race starts in 46 hours from now, so I'll be letting you all know how it plays out. Cool. Are there any favorites to win Cocodona? Michael McKnight. There's actually quite a few really legit women. We might have to let's get into this next week. We'll do Cocodona recap because we don't have time, but we will get into it. Carl Meltzer just pulled the plug. He was in, so I'm not happy about that. I think he broke a toe at a 100-miler this weekend.
That's a good reason.
Did I miss the info on the new Pinal Mountains race? No, it's on our website. We are about to launch more information this week. So stay tuned, and we're in the final approval process. So it's going to be a really great one.
That race does look sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Crown King holds a special place in my heart personally. And so to see what happened there this past week, which I'm sure will be covered in Outhouse News. But all right, Kirsch, I saw you, dude. It's going to be this new race is going to be very entertaining to watch because the same gain in half the time is stupid. It's just rude. It's just straight up rude. So
it's going to be a beast, and I'm really, really excited about it. I hope I'm recovered in time. I don't know. I probably shouldn't run it, so we'll just leave that. We'll leave that for another time.
I don't think anybody's going to be running it. Running it is very generous in terms of a description of, how people will physically move through the space. But hey, if anybody's out there looking for buns of steel, that's the race for you. All right. You figure that course out, you will be just solid by the end of it, either cramping or just because you've gotten crazy strong.
Yep. Well, with that, I think we'll let you go on your way. I think what we've learned, if anything, is that 42 minutes is not enough time for us to do this show justice. It always has to be like an hour 25 to an hour 35. Seems like the right amount of time. Yeah,
well, unfortunately, duty calls, and also I need to eat an actual meal at some point today because all I've had is 4 waffles, and that's not going to sustain me when I have so much stupidity that I have to do in the next 29 hours, 28 hours. This is going to be a mess. So,
all right. Well, we look forward to checking in next week and hopefully a successful completion. And
I know no other way.
All right.
I miss you.
All right. I do have a trip on the books to California coming up, so I will see you soon.
Yes, my people will call your people.
All right.
Hit me on the text. And yes, for those who celebrate this weekend upcoming, have a good, safe, healthy Easter or what have you. Hope you guys of the Jewish faith had a good Passover. Stay healthy, stay happy. And I will catch you guys hopefully next week, or you guys can live stream my funeral. So,
all right. See you, Schuyler.
All right, man. I'll catch you later.
All right. See ya. All right. I'm going to stick around a few extra minutes here and answer some more of your questions in the chat. So I will, Zach, since I have some time, I will go through our Cocodona entrance list because I do want to hype that up for sure. So pretty happy considering the pandemic and everything, launching a brand new race of this distance and scope and scale. Didn't quite know what to expect, and we are proud to announce we have 188 entrants as of today. So some of your top women, Ellie Spacek from Lakewood, Colorado. She won the Mogollon Monster in 2019 and has several other top placings at many 100-milers. She's run UTMB before. Jessie Morton Langhog, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names. Moab 240, she won that race in 2020. And she's also signed up for Tahoe this year. She has also third at Wasatch in the past. Micah Thews, very experienced runner. Tahoe 200, second place. Bigfoot 200, third place. A different year, Tahoe 200, second place. She was also second at the last annual Heart of the South road race. So that's the HOTS, I think they call it, put on by Laz. She's also signed up for Tahoe and Bigfoot this year in addition to Cocodona. She's going to be one to watch. Other top women, Brianna Grigsby, Aravaipa Racing Team from Tucson, stepping up to the distance. Jordan Werfs-Brock, it looks like first place at Orcas Island 100-miler. and 4th at the I'm Tough. And she was 2nd at Across the Years 72 Hour with 162 miles. So no stranger to long distances. And let's see, Dawn Greenwalt of Flagstaff. She is really strong at quite a few races as well, but is stepping up to a longer distance for the first time. Jody Seminel, 2nd at Moab this last year. Amazing. She's also 1st at the Across the Years 200 miler, 1st overall in 61 hours. So that's going to be really fun. Stacked women's field. We got Pam Reed, Holly Hovius, and the list just goes on and on. Okay, for the men, Michael Versteeg, Whiskey Man, he's running it. Drew Freeze, Aravaipa Racing Team. He's been tearing up a lot of races this spring so far. Most recent entrant, Corey Woltering. He's going for a Pinhoti FKT, I believe. Vaughn Jones, 13th at Moab 240, it looks like, and he's got some other top placings. 2nd at Habanero 100, and been around the sport for a while. Ryan Burkmeyer, 2nd at Mogollon Monster 105K, 6th at Coldwater, stepping up to longer distance for the first time. Let's see here. Charlie Engel is a well-known name. 2nd at Jalapeno 100, we have Trevor Medding. 4th at Silver Heels and 2nd at Chattanooga, so got some good experience. We also have Andy Pearson, myself, Taylor Spike. He has done well at 200s before. Michael McKnight, of course, as I mentioned. You got Peter Mortimer, another Aravaipa Racing Team member. So we'll do more full recap as we get closer and as the entrance list kind of changes a little bit more. Let's see what else in the chat here. Gary Roberts chimes in. I really want people like Anton to be able to just run and enjoy it without the pressure of winning. Must be hard to not be able to. I agree with that, but I think he wants to race. I think he really wants to do well and run hard. You can just tell he's driven by that, and probably just frustrated at his injuries over the years. So let's see. Adam Priest, shout out to Stan Fortuna, 74-year-old runner doing Cocodona. It's amazing. We don't want to forget, of course, everyone doing the event. We've got 188 different amazing stories. Crispin Flower Day, super tempted to come to Arizona to help film Cocodona. Need to think about that. We'll be in touch if I can. Yeah, let me know, reach out. And let's see. Jeff Thompson, Unknown Trail to Unknown Trail intersection update. Give the people what they want. Check into this week's news show for that. I think that's about all I have this week, and I am gonna, I think, call this one a little bit short as well. We just did a Kagala Cocodona live stream that's available on the Aravaipa channel, so check that out as well if you want to learn more about the 200s. There's gonna be a lot of talk about Cocodona over the next probably 2 months, really, because we're going to hype it up for a month. We're going to do the event, and we're going to have to come down off that high. So it's going to be quite the journey from launching this inaugural year to live streaming it to running it. And hopefully we put on a good show for you guys, and it's hopefully a worthwhile experience for everyone. And we'll touch more on that in the future. That's all we have for this week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next week with a more normal-sized podcast. Thank you.